Hello, amazing, amazing people. It is great to be live with you here again. I am so excited for challenge number 4. And I just want to say, this group is incredible. The energy in the group, the engagement in the group, the love in the group, the connection in this community is something that I haven't even seen in real life. And it isn't even something that we see often online. So I just want to thank you for creating such a special place. There were a few people that I've bumped into this week. I've met them through work, through making videos, through different introductions, and I recommended the group to them. So they don't know me that well, they know my content, but they don't know me as well, and they look through it. Wait, I'll tell you that in a moment. Let me say hellos. Let me say my hellos. Cheryl, good to see you. John, great to see you. Nitin, great to see you. Guys, type in a comment. Let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. If this is your first challenge live, let me know that. I'd love to give you a shout out. Let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. Leave me a comment if you want a shout out. I love saying hello to all of you. Kush, Daksha, wonderful to see you right now as well. Leave me a comment, guys. I want to see whether the comments are on. Comments are working as usual. Let's have a look where in the world you're tuning in from, guys. Awesome. Kishan, good to see you as well. You guys. Where are you? Here we go. Lenore, hi again. Love to everyone from Toronto. How many of you have been to 1 live? Tell me. How many of you have been to 2? How many have been to 3? How many of you have been to 4? Let me know. I want to say hello. Simone says, Jade, this has been an amazing experience. Thank you for sharing your spirit, energy, and light. Thank you, Simone. I hope you want more. Ava Mauritius from Mauritius Island. Thank you so much. Philip says, I've managed the first one live. Yes, awesome. Who else is here? Wendy, great to see you. Pumped for today's session. Love from Canada. Great to have you here, Wendy. Mercy, excited for today. Woke up with a lot of energy. Teresa, loving the energy and positivity each day. Tuning in from Seattle. Awesome. Kush, you're excited. Tina, yes, you will be able to go back and watch again after it's all over. Absolutely. They're there for you. Arsena, you make it special. Great to be here from Canada. Thank you so much. Most favorite topic of mine, education, says Kanisha. Crystal, hello from Canada. Ranjit, thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying them. Ramni, Makoena, I hope I'm saying your name right. Johannesburg, South Africa. Cynthia says, I have been to all of them. I love each and every one of them. Cynthia, that is awesome. I couldn't join the last 3, says Debbie, so I changed my schedule and tuning in from Canada. Debbie, great to see you. Oh my God, first live, says Carolina. I changed my schedule. I've been watching the replays. Well done. I'm so happy and proud that you've been doing that. Natita, great to see you. Nancy, when you take your 2 15-minute breaks and your 30-minute lunch just to hear Jay. Wow, that's commitment, Nancy. I love your commitment. Thank you so much. Dominique, Carlos, Marcy, wonderful to see you as well. Brilliant. So guys, it is great to have every single one of you here. Like I was saying at the beginning, I'm loving your energy, I'm loving your notes, I'm loving the engagement. We've actually created a beautiful online space where all of you are creating so much value and impact in each other's lives. Not only are you benefiting yourself, but I've seen you help each other grow. And I was just saying that I've recommended the group to a lot of people I've even met this week who know my content, but they may not know me. And they joined the group. And they said one thing to me. They said, Jay, you're blowing our minds. And I was like, I don't get it. Like, this is what I do. I love doing this. And they said, Jay, you're blowing our minds. You've actually helped facilitate and build a compassionate, kind, supportive environment on the internet. How is that possible? That 160,000 people right now. When we started the group, we're at about 125,000. We're now at 160,000 people have dedicated their time and energy to personal growth. People have never seen this before. People have never ever witnessed this many people with such a beautiful energy. And I said to them, it's not me. I'm so fortunate that the people that follow my content, that watch my content, are such beautiful people. So all the credit goes to every single one of you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you and what you're adding to this group by yourself. And I've got a special surprise for you that I really want to share. And I'm going to start today's session with that surprise. So for all 2,000 of you that are online, for everyone who's watching this on the replay, this is a special announcement. We've got people from all over the world: South Africa, India, the Philippines, Canada, America, South America, Europe, all parts of Asia, right? Malaysia, Indonesia, China, Hong Kong. We've got people from all over the world. And I know that it's hard to find the right timing. And trust me and my team, and I want to say a big thank you. So these lives, of course, you get me live every day, but behind this is a huge team of mine that is building the infrastructure, that's making sure the sessions are going on time, that's making sure that you get all the replays, that you get all the notes, that's making sure that all of these are impactful and effective. I have a whole team that's making sure that you get the most impact, the most value, and the most support in this experience. And I just want to recognize them for a moment, because I would not be able to do it without them. This takes a lot more energy than just me sitting in front of a screen. So I know there's a lot of people from all over the world, and this is what me and the team have decided to do for you, and I'm really excited to share it. We're going to host not one, but 2 special live sessions on Wednesday, 18th April. 2 bonus sessions that are going to be questions and answers. And these 2 times, they're going to be 8 a.m. LA time, right? 8 a.m. in LA and 8 p.m. LA time. 2 of them, 12 hours apart. 2 separate live Q&A sessions where I'm going to answer your questions live. I'm going to be here. Any questions you have from the lives we've had, any questions you have for your personal life, whatever it is, these are 2 bonus sessions, completely free, there to give you more impact, more effective ideas, and mainly answering your questions. I know so many of you have personal questions. You've been patient. I've been answering a few of them in the session, but I want to take more for you as well. And I really am doing this so that you get to ask me. I'll be on those lives just like this to answer your questions. So I'm sure you can join at least one, and hopefully you can join both of them. They'll both be different because they're Q&As. I'm not sharing any content. I'm answering the questions that you have, and you can join live and ask any questions you have. And later on today, we'll release the exact details. So if you forget, but it's 8 a.m. LA, 8 p.m. LA. We will release the details in the group, so don't worry. Rosie's excited. Oh my God, that's awesome, Jay. Thank you so much for you and the group for doing this. Thank you, Rosie. I really appreciate you joining in. Nitin says, wow, 2 extra sessions. I'm all about making sure that I'm here to support you on your journey. Preet says, yes, go team. Great job in keeping smooth and amazing experienced. Nikita says, I watched all replays and feels more and more motivated every time I watch. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, Nitika. I really appreciate that. Thank you for all the effort that is helping and inspiring so many of us. Nancy, yes, and Zila, many of my friends and family in Brazil are so excited so that I can translate your teachings to them so that they can change our lives too. Zelia, that is beautiful. I'm so happy to hear that. I need to learn more languages. Thank you so much. Letty says, so much love for you. This community is the best ever. Thank you so much for all your help changing lives. Kim says, your team are a bunch of special people. Thank you to Jay's team. Thank you. Please do thank them, because there is a huge infrastructure behind delivering something like this. It's not easy, and we plan in advance, we create all the schedules, and we want to make it powerful. Samantha, 3rd live. You're awesome, Jay. Great content so far. I've been motivated and changed things already. Awesome. So let me know, what have you done since yesterday's challenge? What did you achieve? I want to know, what did you achieve in yesterday's challenge? What did you master? What did you try out based on challenge 3, right? Which is all about emotional intelligence. We talked about the DISC profile. I want to know how many of you put that into practice. Now, I hope you didn't walk around and see big letters on top of everyone's head for the rest of the day. But I hope you've been doing the others too. Jennifer Lakey says, I journaled last night, woke up early to meditate and work out. Thank you for the knowledge. Thank you for Jennifer for taking it seriously. Kathy says, thank you for doing this. It came at a perfect time in my life. I really need all this. I listened to replays cut a few times already. Awesome. Riddhi, I love this. Screamed out in excitement after hearing 2 more live sessions. Literally watching you before sleep makes my day. Got the best mentor. Thank you so much. Freedom More. So loving all of this, so inspiring. I share with everyone at work, and we're all making great changes already. Freedom, that is amazing. Love to you and your team from California. Ria, thank you. I'm so overwhelmed by all your beautiful messages, guys. And all I want to say is that if you genuinely feel touched, if you genuinely feel that this has been impactful, that it's changed your life, stay tuned. There's loads more coming. I've got a special announcement at the end of this live as well. If you're watching on the replay, watch it all the way through. But I'm now going to kick off with challenge number 4. Are you ready? Press the like and love button. Say yes in the comments if you're ready for challenge 4. I'm about to kick off, guys. We've got 2 challenges left. Let's not get carried away, but we've got 2 free sessions as well coming up on Wednesday, 18th April, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. But let's hit it for challenge 4. And I love this. I love the... Oh, this is nice. Berber Lottie says, hi Jay, I had to fire a co-worker. That sounds painful. And by taking into account emotional intelligence, we ended the conversation well. Although the struggle was... There was struggle in the beginning. Absolutely. Absolutely. Amazing. Okay, great. So, challenge number 4 begins. Now, I want to paint the picture behind this challenge. So, the challenge here... The name of the challenge is Education First, right? Education First. And I'm going to tell you why I decided to do this as challenge number 4. How many of you actually know why I started making my videos? I'm guessing a lot of you follow me here, have joined this group because you've watched my videos. And I'm going to tell you, see, the reason why I love groups like this and the reason why I love communities like this is that I get to share even more of myself. So in my videos, you see my ideas and my mind, but in these, you see my heart and my soul and where I'm really coming from. You get to see my energy when I have an hour to talk to you rather than 3 minutes on Facebook or YouTube. Trust me, I struggle. I love making videos, and there's a value and power in making 3-minute videos, but there's a value and power in having an hour together regularly to grow. See, 1 day is not enough, 2 days not enough, 5 days aren't enough. We need this regularly. And so I love being able to do these longer sessions with you. So I'm going to tell you a story, and I don't think I've ever told this on the internet before, and it's how I started doing what I do and why I do it. And I read a study, and in this study, it said that the people that become the most successful in the world, the people that become the highest performers, the highest achievers, and the happiest, choose education over entertainment. And the people that remain stuck, that feel like they've got barriers and blocks, that rarely progress to other heights in their personal and professional lives, they choose entertainment over education. Think about that for a moment. The most healthy, wealthy, and wise people in the world choose education over entertainment. Education first. And the most people who struggle in the world choose entertainment over education. So I said this to myself, and I made this my challenge in life. The reason that is because educational content is boring. Educational content, a lot of it is not exciting. It's not engaging. Because of school and the way academics is run, it's actually more disengaging than it is exciting. And then we don't feel enthusiastic about it. No one, it's so interesting, and this is proof of it. All of you, when you join these lives, and remember, we've got a school of 160,000, right? We've got a school of 160,000 in this group right now, right? 160,000 people. This is our school. And all of you are saying to me, Jay, I'm excited by these sessions. I want to go there. And that's because in my best attempt, my videos, my coaching sessions, my presentations, whether you see me live on stage or whether you see me behind a camera, my focus is on making education entertaining. But it's still education first. Because education is what unlocks the truth. Education is what unlocks our potential. But it has to be entertaining. So I decided that I would dedicate my life to making education entertaining so that people could choose education. They could be entertained, but they could be learning through it. And that's why my mantra, my motto is making wisdom go viral. right? And you're all a part of that movement right now. The fact that you're in this group, you're helping me make wisdom go viral. Remember, I lived as a monk for 3 years, so I had no idea how this was going to happen. But because of each and every one of you, it is possible. And I use all my energy and time outside of this to see how I can have a better impact on the world. Monica says, oh my God, Jay, I feel like I know you. I introduced you to my man friend. I'm too old to have a boyfriend, lol. Chris and I watch you instead of watching TV. We love you. Wow, that's perfect. Thank you so much. I'm just about to take a picture of that because I love those comments. They changed my life. So thank you so much. That means so much to me. I really, really appreciate that. Amazing. More we earn knowledge through education, the more successful in life, etc. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But education can be entertaining. Shari says, Jay, oh my God, I'm studying right now to be a forensic accounting specialist, and it does feel draining to go to class. But when I get there, it's so informed and enjoying. Exactly. Chrissy, thank you. Education over entertainment. Love it. So education first. Education can be entertaining. You are witnessing that. You are experiencing that. This is our school of entertainment and education. Edutainment together. So that's why I wanted to talk about education first. How many of us struggle to choose a book over a Netflix show? I want to tell you one of the reasons why I and a lot of people I know stopped listening to music. Now, that doesn't mean I don't listen to music at all. I love music. I would just post today on my Instagram stories that my current jam is Lauryn Hill and Drake, especially in moments where I'm usually intellectualized and I'm usually spending a lot of time up here. So if I'm just like waiting to get in a taxi, or I'm hanging out for a few moments, I like putting music on. So don't get me wrong. But one thing I realized is the passive power of podcasts and audiobooks. I know a lot of people who don't like to read. I get that. I love reading. But I get that you don't like reading. But I know so many people who've tuned into the power of podcasts and audiobooks in a huge way. My point is, there are 3 types of educational places. 4 actually. I'm going to say 4 educational places that take different forms, right? And these 4 will form the basis of what I share today. Reading out some more of your comments. Iona says, you're incredible, so true. The idea about the education, how education can be entertaining. Sonia says, as a special needs teacher, I make it a must to make education entertaining, and I love it. Amazing. I only remember one teacher during my school time who had us on the edge of the seat about a book we needed to read. Bettina, that's beautiful. I have the same recollection. Nicoletta, I'm glad you're on the same page. Jennifer, okay, we're all on the same page. So, I'm starting off with the habits of successful people. This whole group is about success habits. Education first is a huge success habit, right? When Warren Buffett was once asked about the key to success, he pointed to a stack of nearby books and said this: read 500 pages like this every day. That's how knowledge works. It builds up like compound interest. All of you can do it, but I guarantee you, not many of you will do it. Now, Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, takes this habit to the extreme. He reads between 600 to 1,000 pages per day. And this isn't now that he's rich. He did this when he was beginning his investing career and still devotes about 80% of each day to reading. But notice this, it's not just reading books, it's reading focused books, things you want to grow in, things where you want to scale, things that you need to learn about, areas in your life where you know you need to improve. If you want to be an actor, read about acting and then do it. If you want to be a singer, obviously you have to sing, but learn how other singers went through their struggles. I was with a group of actors last night, and I was talking to them about how we shouldn't want to become actors, musicians, coaches to become famous. Becoming a musician is not about a Grammy. Becoming an actor is not about an Oscar. Becoming a football player is not about the World Cup. It's about the day-to-day. You have to fall in love with the process, not the result. The problem is we want the result, we don't know what the process looks like. When you read, you realize what the process looks like. You realize what it actually takes, right? You realize what it actually takes. I'm not saying you've got to read 500 pages a day. I'm not saying you've got to read 1,000 pages a day. What I'm saying is, I want to plant the seed where you make education your first priority. Right? First priority. Callie, great to see you live. Thanks for joining in on your first one. Pen Ingram says, I have a thirst for knowledge. Education is key, but I find it's putting what I've learned into practice the most challenging thing. We'll talk about that, Callie. I want to take that forward into some of our Q&As. Let's keep that at the top of my mind as well. I wish I could take a comment. I can't wait for the day I can take a comment and do this, and it reminds me. How cool would that be? But I will definitely remember that. That's why I did that action. This is one of the ways to put things into practice. You said something, Pen, and I made it visual. I made it physical. This is reminding me that you made a point, and I'm repeating it. You made a point that you'd like to know how to put things into practice. And when I'm sharing it back with you, that's also cementing it deeper in my memory. And if I really want to remember it, I'll have to type it out. I'll have to write it out, right? So those are just some quick answers that I can give you, but we will dive deeper into that. So, the choice of choosing education first is huge. Now, here's some more success habits that I wanted to share with you. Warren Buffett's not alone. Bill Gates reads about 50 books per year, which breaks down to 1 per week. Mark Cuban reads more than 3 hours every day, the guy from Shark Tank. Elon Musk, Tesla, is an avid reader. When asked how he learned to build rockets, he said, I read books. Right? He learned how to build rockets from reading books. Mark Zuckerberg resolved to read a book every 2 weeks throughout 2015. Oprah Winfrey selects one of her favorite books every month for a book club members to read and discuss. Right? And these aren't just isolated examples. A study of 1,200 of the most successful people in the world found that they all have reading as a pastime in common, right? But the thing here is not just reading. It's not just about, oh, I read a nice fiction book. These people are not just reading fiction books. They're not just reading soap operas. It's very specific, and this is why these sessions are important. Because when you hear successful people read, you think, oh, I'll just read something. That's not actually how it's done. They actually read specifically. They're highly selective about what they read, opting to be educated and growing and learning as opposed to just being entertained, right? It's a huge difference, even in what they read. So, in fact, there's a notable difference between the reading habits of the successful and the not so successful. So according to Tom Corley, author of Rich Habits, The Daily Success Habits of Successful Individuals, these people read for self-improvement, education, and success. Whereas unsuccessful people read primarily to be entertained. So it's also what you're reading. Now, reading about self-improvement and self-development books actually helps you learn because someone's gone through the hard job of breaking the points down for you. Let's have a look at some of your comments. How are you finding this session so far? Carolyn says, I love learning and studying. If being a student would be a job, it would be my perfect job. And Carolyn, it can be. A big part of my life is just studying, right? Is just studying. And it's always been like that. I didn't start studying after I became a coach. You started studying before you become a coach, before you become a guide and a teacher. Right? These people aren't just doing it now that they can because they have time. They did it even when they didn't have time, right? So, one of the biggest points I'm making here is the choice of education first, right? Most of the books that Bill Gates reads are non-fiction books dealing with public health, disease, engineering, business, and science, right? Some of the books that I read are all about behavioral science, which I studied at business school, which is the science of why people do what they do. Why do we cheat? Why do we lie? Does money motivate us? What breaks us down? I've really invested a lot of my time in understanding the human mind. And the amazing thing is that the busiest people find time to read. The busiest people find time to read. So what I'm sharing here is I'm going to share with you the 4 ways in which you can be entertained but be educated. Because I truly believe that education should be entertaining. Right? Sorry, 5 ways. I'm going to share 5. Right? I'm going to share 5 ways that entertainment can be educational. So the first way is reading, right? And reading books, one of the best ways is reading self-development books. And literally you could read one section at a time. Self-development books are broken down brilliantly. Self-improvement books are broken down brilliantly. If you're into less science, stay away from behavioral science and look at self-development, right? If you're into science and you like that kind of stuff, then behavioral science is your space. Know the difference. Books are a huge way of being entertained, but being educated. The way to read these books is very, very important. Now, I will tell you how to read that. One of the first ways to read a self-development book, and this is what's amazing about non-fiction books versus fiction books. The way to read them is like how you go shopping. Listen to me carefully. How many times do you go shopping to Whole Foods or Trader Joe's or to Tesco's or Morrison's, wherever you are in the world? How often do you go to a supermarket and walk through every aisle just to buy some cheese, just to buy some milk, just to buy some bread? You don't. You go to the aisle that you want. You go to the aisle that has what you need. When you read a self-development book, when you read a self-improvement book, go to the chapter that has what you need. You would never walk through a whole supermarket just to find milk and bread. Don't read the whole book just to find what you want. That's the beautiful thing about self-development books. And the great idea behind these, I'll share a list afterwards. I'll share them now. I'll share them now instead of afterwards. 3 of my top self-development books are Start With Why, Thinking Fast and Slow, and Predictably Irrational. 3 of my favorite books. Check them out, right? And if you, so don't worry if you can't read. I'm giving you 4 other options, guys, so don't get carried away. If you're saying, I can't read, I get bored reading, fine. Stay with me. I'm going to give you some ideas. That's why these sessions are awesome, right? These sessions engulf everything. The ideal way of being entertained and educated is live sessions like this. I'll tell you why. I've done the research. I've read the books. I'm sharing the greatest inputs, and I'm trying to make it exciting and involving and engaging. You get all the value in a live session like this. So this is the best investment and commitment you can make. But I'm sharing other ways you can do it on the days when we're not together. So the first way is reading. The second one is audiobooks. If you don't like reading, you can listen. And it's really important that you read and listen to books where you feel the pain point of where you need to grow. If you really want better time management, read and listen about time management. If you want to better manage your health, read and listen about health. If you literally typed in best health books on Amazon, you'll get the best health books on Amazon. It's that simple, right? It's that simple. Lisa, we'll see you later, don't worry as well. Thank you, Nancia. And if you get bored reading books, you've got sessions like this, so don't worry. But read chapters, not books. Listen carefully. Read chapters, not books. Read chapters, not books. What's hurting you? Are you dealing with a breakup? Are you dealing with a certain type of pain? Read chapters, not books. You don't need to read all the book. You just need to read the chapter that applies to you. Penn, I love that book. It's a great book. Exactly, you can dip in and out of it, right? The second is audiobooks. Listen to the chapter. You don't need to listen to a whole book. See, we're programmed because of the education system that we have to start and finish everything. When actually life doesn't work like that. You can jump into something, get the value that you need, and then dip out. It doesn't have to be a start to finish thing. We don't have to be fixated on finishing something, right? Okay, so second one was audiobooks. I know so many people that have now turned towards audiobooks, and they find audiobooks having the greatest impact on them, right? So reading, books, and then audiobooks. My third favorite way of being entertained and also educated is TED Talks. TED Talks, no one can say they don't have time for a TED Talk. They are, actually wait, no one has time that they don't have time for a TED Talk. So book can take you a month to read, maybe even longer. An audiobook may take you less than a month or a month to listen to. TED Talks take 12 minutes, 18 minutes. No one can say they don't have 12 to 18 minutes. Incredible. TED Talks are a great way of learning. Again, do not listen to something, do not read something because it sounds cool. Read and listen to it because you're feeling something. If you're feeling you need to be more organized, listen about organization. If you feel you need to be more creative, be purposeful in what you listen to. See, we are not purposeful in what we listen and read, and that's why we get bored. Because it doesn't connect. Now, right now, I really, like I've been talking about this, I'm writing my book. So I'm reading and listening a lot about how to write a good book. What are the frameworks for it? But let's say I was listening and reading about how to make a video. Right now, that's not my greatest fascination. I would get bored. If the audiobook and the book and the TED Talk I was listening to was about how to do accounts, I would get bored. Because I'm not trying to do accounts. I'm trying to focus my energy on writing a book. Does that make sense? Right? TED Talks are an incredible way. Anju, great choice of book. Jeannie, great choice of book as well. Nariman, you start with your problem. Start with your challenge. Start with what you're trying to solve. Start with your fascination. Start with your passion. That's the chapter you choose. That's the audio you choose. Sham says, I love audiobooks, but always thought it was not as effective as reading. It's as effective. Do not let your mind... See, we let our mind tell us these stories that aren't verified, right? Stephanie says, I've never thought about just reading individual chapters, not reading the book from cover to cover. That makes sense. You know what, Stephanie? Sometimes I don't even read a chapter. I just read a section, right? I just read the section that I most need. We get fixated. Sasso's loving the TED as well. Option B is a great book, Megan. Great book, right? And you did it last year to get through a breakup. I love that. Kelly says, oh my God, love that. I used to stay stuck in the most ridiculous scenarios, projects, relationships, because I'd been taught to move on to the next thing rather than finishing was failure. The truth gave me so much freedom. The best people know when to quit as well, right? The best people know when to quit as well. Make some notes, guys. I hope you're taking notes. So if you can't read for long, don't read for long. Read for short. It's as simple as that. Third one was TED Talks. I'm giving you 5. The fourth big way is podcasts. Similar to audiobooks, but podcasts have an engaging conversation. They have an interview. You learn from people. Some of my favorites are my friends, Lewis Howes, The School of Greatness, Tim Ferriss Show, right? Interviews, exciting interviews where the interview is doing the hard work. Again, these are all, great options. Again, like I said, I feel like from these live sessions you get the most value because you get me actually engaging, reacting to you. But these are things you can do throughout the week to choose education first. I want you to be able to choose a book over a Netflix show. I want you to be able to choose a podcast, right, over some music. I want you to be able to choose an audiobook over a random conversation or just scrolling on Instagram. Imagine every time, just think about this for a moment. We spend about 10 hours of our life, 10 years, I saw it was 5 to 10 years of our life on average. We live for an average of 78 years. We spend about 5 to 10 years of that on social media and TV. Imagine how much you would grow if you invested 10 minutes on a TED Talk, 20 minutes on a book, 30 minutes on a podcast a day. Imagine you just did one of those 3. Imagine how much you feel you're going to be growing. Imagine how much you feel you're going to be learning. Kartika, that's a great book, right? Samantha says, love biology of the mind. Catherine, that's how I was in school my last semester. I would only read the section needed. I read Buddha and Joan of Arc that way. Beautiful. Margarita says, I love reading self-help books and TED Talks. Love this course also. It's helping me a lot. I've already selected 3 books about emotional intelligence to read because I was so inspired by you yesterday. Amazing. Tay Gaffer, I'm loving it too. Amazing. Sarah says, I've learned so much more by podcasts and audiobooks and TED Talks. For me, it's so much easier to listen than to read. There you go. So it's important to know what kind of a learner you are, right? So let me tell you about this. You may or may not know about this. There are 4 learning styles, right? There are 4 learning styles. These 4 are visual, auditory, physical, and social, right? There are 4 different learning styles. I want you to write these down in your notes. And I want you to understand them. So visual learners prefer to see information and visualize the relationships between ideas. When I'm doing stuff like this and connecting, that's what I mean. right? When you see a chart, when some of you are drawing, your notes are stunning, that's a visual learner. Some of you are visual learners. If you're a visual learner, you need more people who are more animated and descriptive in their examples, right? Lisa says, Eureka moment. I've never really thought I could read only the section I needed. I've been so programmed. We've been so brainwashed. We've been so programmed. We've been so programmed to believe learning ends after school. We've been so programmed to believe that after school is all about entertainment. We've been so programmed to believe when you start something, you have to finish it. It's not true. And we've been programmed to believe there's only some ways of learning, but there are four. There are 4 ways of learning. So we've talked about 1, visual learners. The second, right, is tactics for the visual learners is charts, graphs, pictures, images, and relationships. If you are a visual learner, tell me which one you think you are. Do you believe you're a visual learner? If you're a visual learner, you like to be tuned in, you like to see connections, you like to see dots matching up, right? Charts and graphs, statistics, but visual statistics are what will work for you. Write down, yes, I'm a visual learner. Press the like and love button if you're one of them. The second are auditory learners. Prefer to hear information rather than reading or seeing. Auditory learners like to recite information out loud to remember it. This is the tactic. So I'm sharing with you currently the top 5 ways to make education entertaining and the top 4 types of learning, right? The 4 top ways of learning. We're currently on point number 4, which I said was podcasts. We did reading. We did reading, audiobooks, TED podcasts, TED Talks, wrapped, right? Wrapped. Reading, audiobooks, podcasts, TED Talks, wrapped, right? Wrapped attention. When you're wrapped, when you're completely captivated, wrapped attention. And now that was 4, and the 5th one that I'll just add before I go into the 4 learning styles, the 5th one is Netflix documentaries. There's so many great documentaries now. Everyone's making great non-fiction content, even on platforms like Netflix, where you can watch something and learn, right? And of course, there's great pages on social media just like this. But those are 5 ways of choosing education over entertainment. When I feel like, over lunch, when I'm feeling I'm wasting your time or I'm scrolling through my phone, I'll turn on a Netflix documentary. I'll put in a podcast. I'll play some. Imagine what's happening to your brain. You're programming, you're rewiring your brain to choose education first. This is the message I want you to get out of today. Education first. That doesn't mean no entertainment. If I said education only, I'm not saying that. I'm saying education first. I love watching movies. I love music. But I don't let that eat up my time. Right? Jacqueline says, this is great, Jay. Thank you. I'm an auditory and visual learner. Deb says, I'm an everything learner. That's why these sessions work for most of you, because a lot of you learn in broad ways. In this, you get all of it. Abigail says, this is awesome. Always struggle to finish books or got stuck because not interesting. Now I'll only read the chapter I want or just the section. Right? Awesome. So we've talked about 2 types of learners. First, we talked about visual learners. Then we talked about auditory learners. So auditory learners, if you like hearing audiobooks, podcasts, you will remember the information when you recite things out loud, right? Give yourself a chance to repeat the points back to yourself. Ask yourself questions and remind yourself of the answers if you're an auditory learner, right? The third type of learning is reading and writing learners. They learn best when you guessed it, reading and writing. So those of you that makes notes while reading, text is more powerful than hearing or seeing images, right? You need quizzes, gives you a chance to write things down. You need annotated handouts. You need questionnaires, anything that helps you connect with text, right? And if you're an everything learner right now, guys, this is the place to be. But when you're in your personal time, realize you are one of these more than the other. When you choose, when you know, see, it's all about self-awareness. When I ask you which one do you think you are and you say everything, it's because we haven't really reflected. I want you to reflect and choose one. Because when you're on your own, when you have to learn, you have to choose one that you most like. Amazing, love this, says Letty. Jen says, make education entertaining. Yes, this is exactly what I need for myself and to be as a better teacher. Jen, that's awesome. I'm so happy. Kira Gibbs says, this is amazing. Thanks, Jay. You've helped me. Now I'm reading books by chapter. Sherry says, yes, that's why I have to read out loud, absorb the information. it does Soniko, it does matter what music you listen to. I'm not against music. Remember, I'm saying education first. Education first. Okay. And then the fourth one is kinesthetic learners. So these are learners who want hands-on experiential learners. They learn best by doing. Like, yes, by the way, I mean, I'm going to tell you about this at the end today, but okay, I'll save it. I'll come back to this. But in these where you need exercises where you guys actually get involved, role play, speaking to each other. Obviously much easier when you're live, but we'll figure out a way to do it in these sessions too. So these are the 4 types of learners, right? You're either a visual, auditory, reading and writing, or kinesthetic. Know which one you are. In sessions like this, I do all the hard work. You get all of it in one place. But when you're alone, you need to choose education first, right? Education first at all times, right? And this is what I like also. Mark Cuban says, everything I read was public, right? Anyone could buy the same books and magazines. The same information was available to anyone who wanted it. Turns out most people didn't want it. Phil Knight. According to the New York Times, the Nike founder kept the library behind his executive office so sacred that anyone who entered had to remove their shoes, right? When asked by the Times in 2007 if he'd preserved the library after stepping down as CEO 3 years prior, he said, of course the library still exists. He said, I'm always still learning. That's Phil Knight, CEO of Nike, we say in England. Notice that education is huge, guys. Education is the key, right? Education is everything, and it's available to each and every single one of us. Education is consistent, it's continuous. So this is I want to crush. Julie's loving it, awesome. And my favorite way of learning is this, because in this you get an exchange, you get an engagement, you get to ask. This is better and trumps all the other ways, but is complementary to all the other ways. They all work together. Because when you read a book, you find more answers here. You can ask a question. When I read a book, I can share it with you, share the essence. I also used to read a book a day, right? Last year, I read a book a day. And so one of the things I want to point out is the myths behind learning. People think learning ends. They think, okay, I did 1 day of challenge. People are like, oh, I watched 1 video, that was enough. I watched 5 videos, that's enough. Learning is continuous and has to be consistent. Never ever feel that you've got enough and now you need to practice it and then you learn some more. No, that does not work, right? That does not work. What works is learning consistently, being pushed to start implementing. A lot of people say, okay, when I learn enough, I'll learn it and then I'll practice it and then I'll learn some more. No, we need consistent reminders, right? Consistent reminders. The other thing is learning needs to be someone who's a bit ahead of us on the journey. We need mentors, we need coaches, we need guides that are slightly ahead of us on the journey, who can paint pictures for us, who can share advice with us. That's the best way to learn. You can't do everything on your own. And one of the biggest things about learning is that there's 2 types of education. I said this a few days ago. One that teaches you how to make a living, and one that teaches you how to make a life. We invest 18 years into learn how to make a living. We invest 0 years in how to live a life. How we live a life dictates everything. Our earning potential, right? How we educate ourselves, how we grow. Look at all of these successful people. 80% of the day is spent investing in themselves, financially investing in themselves, and time-wise investing in themselves, and energy-wise investing in themselves. If we're not investing in ourselves, then our financials will suffer, our relationships will suffer, our connections will suffer, our future will suffer. But we don't think that. We think it's all out there, when actually it's all right here, right? Education is the key to success. Lisa, yes, exactly. If you're not learning something new every day, then there's a problem. And so I just want to throw this out there. So that's the session for today. Wrapped, right? R, reading. A, audiobooks. P, podcast. T, TED Talks. And then, what did I say after that? Everyone remember? T, TED Talks. And then, D, documentaries. Wrapped. D. Wrapped D. Wrapped D. Sounds like a rap name, but it works. Those are the 5 metrics, and there are 4 types of learning. Know which one you are. Right now you think you're all of them, but you're not. You're deeply one of them. Visual, auditory, reading and writing, kinesthetic. You are deeply one of them. You are deeply one of them. Anastasia says, Jay, I'm so amazed how easily you explain things, what people know but do not use, but by you I only want to go and do it. You guide me. Well, thank you. Well, so many of you have been messaging me and my team saying that you want more, that you want to grow more, that you don't just want to end this after. How many of you feel, say yes out loud, how many of you feel that these 5 days will not be enough? Like, say yes out loud, right? Write yes in the comments, press the like and love button. How many of you feel, I haven't been seeing your blowing mind faces today, but how many of you feel that you want to grow even beyond these 5 days? How many of you feel that you found these sessions so impactful, so effective, and so productive that you'd like them to continue? Say yes in the comments. Say yes out loud wherever you are. Raise your hand if you're feeling like, yes, Jay, I need more growth. I need a consistent coach. I need a consistent mentor. I need to learn with a group. I love being a part of a community that's growing together. I love being a part of a community that's moving forward together. Right? How many of you feel that way? Right? How many of you feel that way? Say yes in the comments. Say yes out loud where you are. Raise your hands if you feel that way. How many of you feel, I need this regularly? I need this every day. Well, we've been getting a lot of messages about that. And I've got some super exciting news. Right? I've got some super exciting news that I can't wait to share with you. I've been keeping it a secret till now because it's a private group. We've been running it since the start of the year. It's incredible. And I have a private coaching group where, like this, I'm privately coaching, mentoring, and guiding, right, a great number of people. But I'm going to open up my private genius coaching group one more time this side of the year, right? One more time this side of the year. It's exclusive. We don't open it up every day. It's not open up all the time. It's an exclusive group if you're watching this on the replay as well. And this is personal group mentoring and coaching like this, immediate access to all my book notes, so the books that I'm reading, and video interviews with all the experts I've sat down with, whether it's Russell Brand, Deepak Chopra, Gabby Bernstein, access to my online Netflix, right? Literally an online Netflix of self-development content, right? And you get access to a weekly live session like this. Every week, I guide you through content, just like we've been doing for the 5 days, but it's on a weekly basis, and you're in a beautiful community and a beautiful group. And if you want it regularly, I'm going to give you all the details and tell you about all of it tomorrow. Now, we're limiting the group because we really want to create a valuable space to 5,000 people. There are now 160,000 people in this group, but I'd love for 5,000 of you to commit to your growth, right? Commit to your growth on a weekly, monthly, and yearly basis by being a part of this, signing up for the Genius Coaching Group that gives you access to weekly mentoring and coaching with me in a group, that gets you access to all my book notes, and that gets access to my online Netflix conversations with self-development experts. And you already know you need this in your life. I know who you are. You know who you are. You've been so engaged in these sessions. You know you want to commit. You know that you're ready to make time, figure it out. And you know that there's so much value and impact here that you want to sign up already. So what I'm going to share with you is I'm going to give you the link to the early bird, which means you will find out about this offer earlier than absolutely everyone, right? Absolutely everyone. So I'm going to put it here. You won't be able to click on the link, so you can copy it out. It's super easy. I'm going to pin it to the top. You just need to write it out, type it out onto your browser, right? It's super easy. I'm going to put it in right now. Here we go. There we go. And there it is. And I'm going to pin it to the top. There we go. Pinned it to the top. It's jshetty.me/early. Type it in. You won't be able to click on the link. Type it in. If you want to find out about being part of my top 5,000 in this Genius Coaching Group, right? Come and join us. It's incredible. We already have a beautiful community there, a warm, welcoming, loving community of people who've been helping us manage and create this, and it's going to allow you to accelerate and excel beyond what you imagine. This is the learning you need. This is the learning that's there. And it'll be incredible. Jackie, get into it now. If you're thinking that you're going to sign up for the early bird right now, let me know. And let me know that it's exciting you, that you're excited about it, that you're getting the opportunity to have these lives every single week. I am in it. It's wonderful. Oh, beautiful to see some of the geniuses right here. Who else? Please, Candice is already a member. Jackie says, I'm getting this now, Jay. Vanessini's getting in it now as well. Who else is about to join? Get that early bird right now. Michelle, Hajar, Irma, thank you so much. John, great to see you here as well. Awesome. So I hope that you guys are going to check this out. Go to the link. This will give you access, early bird access. You'll get the details about how to sign up for my exclusive coaching group. This is where I'm sharing personal stories, personal insights, the best of the best self-development, personal growth. If you found these 4 days valuable so far, that group is going to totally blow your mind on the value. Definitely. So if you would 100% like to join Genius, why not register for early access right now? If you're saying, Jay, I need you once a week in my life. Jay, I need this community for the rest of the year. Jay, I need mentors and teachers like you, like Ritansha's just said. Go and sign up for the early bird right now. I pinned it to the top. jshetty.me/early. Do not miss out on this. Tamara, I'm so glad you're joining. Who else is going to be joining? Miguel, you've joined the link as well. That's awesome. Bettina's already a Genius group, and she said it's one of the best decisions she's made in a long time. Faye. Oh, Faye's not received any email. Faye, look into your junk, search Jay Shetty, then you'll find it. jshetty.me/early. Glory, join us as well. Dawn just signed up. Kimberly just signed up. This is awesome. It's so great. You're going to find out before everyone else. So if you want to find out, if you're watching the replay and you want to find out about how to have these coaching sessions all the time, then make sure you tune in and sign up right now, guys. Sign up right now. So awesome. I love all of you. I hope you had an incredible session 4. Going to sum it all up again for you. Reading, audiobooks, podcasts, TED Talks, and documentaries. Those are the 5 ways of focusing on making education entertaining. Figure out, be really aware of what type of a learner are you. You are one more than the other. Remember, what's this session back over? What's the others back over? The challenge for today is whenever you feel like turning on a Netflix show, turning on YouTube, aimlessly browsing on Instagram, choose one of the wrapped D. Choose reading, audiobooks, podcast. And so this is how I want you to do it. Choose the one you think you're most going to like. If you get bored of it, try the next one. There's 5 ways. You have to find one of them. So you may even do this today. You're about to turn on the Netflix show. And you go, oh, Jay told me to... The voice in your head goes, oh, Jay told me that I need to choose education first if I want to be successful. Okay, I'm going to try to read. Oh, God, this book's so boring. Okay, I'm going to try an audiobook. Oh, God, this is boring. Okay, I'm going to try a podcast. Okay, this is boring. Okay, I'm on a TED Talk. Oh, I like this TED Talk. Okay, great, I did it. Right? So I want you to choose, understanding your learning type, choose which one you're going to work with, right? The link's not working for a lot of people. Kavit and team, please check out the link and take a look at it, because a lot of people are saying that they can't get it. Let's sort that link out for the team, anyone. That would be really, really useful. And don't forget to join live tomorrow. It's the last of the 5 Success Habits Challenge. You've got 2 free sessions, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. bonus sessions on Wednesday, 18th April. But tomorrow is the last one. I did mention Netflix and YouTube, documentaries and social media. But social media can be a great a well where you get lost in it too. Right? So yeah, awesome guys. See you tomorrow for the last session. Make sure you're here. Go share these notes with the group. Spread them far and wide. Make sure everyone, the link is not working, guys. Type in jshetty.me/early. Refresh and work at any time. That will be the link. Make sure you go to it. I'm just checking it now myself on my phone. 1 second. jshetty.me/early. And just keep refreshing that link, guys. Just you can't click that link, you have to type it out. So make sure you're typing it out. Go do it today. Don't miss out on the opportunity. I look forward to seeing you very soon. See you tomorrow. Right? Awesome, guys. We've had lots of sign-ups already, guys. It's working. Make sure you type in jshetty.me/early. See you soon. See you tomorrow.